So your kids don't want your stuff, huh? Do you run into this problem? I hear from my clients all the time how very disappointed they are that their children and their grandchildren don't want any of the stuff that they're letting go of when they're downsizing and moving out of a larger home and into a smaller one. It feels insulting to them, I think, that their children don't seem to find the same meaning in these objects that my clients hold for these same objects. If something means a lot to them, they think, then it should mean a lot to my children or to my grandchildren. I think that something else that happens is that my clients feel that their children might not love them if they're not keeping some of these objects when they downsize or even after they pass away. And it also feels like maybe their children and grandchildren won't remember them once they're gone if they don't keep some of these items. So my message for you today is this. It's a reminder that I say all the time here at Easy Rightsizing. Love and stuff and memories are not the same thing. Love comes from relationships. Memories come from experiences, and stuff is just the stuff that's around our house that we have to store and clean and fix and walk around. Stuff is just stuff. Love and memories are what matters most. And your love and memories are not at all tied to your stuff. The surprising point that I want to make today is that your kids will actually likely want something from your home, but it probably won't be an item that you expect them to want. And it won't have probably anything to do with how expensive that item is or how old it is. Chances are the items that they want from your home are the items that were tied to specific experiences or specific memories. To illustrate this point, I thought I would gather a few of the keepsakes that I have from loved ones that I have lost over the years. I'll start with the basket of simple rubber balls. These rubber balls probably are fairly old. In fact, they were probably balls that my mother or maybe even my grandparents played with as a small child. They came from my grandparents' house, and I can distinctly remember my brother and I, along with my grandfather, sitting on the steps and playing this game where we rolled the balls down the stairs and we tried to get it into a cardboard box. We had different cardboard boxes, each with a different point value to them, and we played that game for hours. It's a simple memory and 4 simple, inexpensive rubber balls, but it's one of my favorite memories of my grandfather. So it's something that I kept. Another example of a keepsake that I have are diaries that my grandmother kept. She kept a sentence a day diary every year from the 40s all the way through the 80s, and I have them. These items are not worth a lot monetarily, but they are worth a huge amount to me emotionally. I can read them and I can be transported in time. I can learn more about my grandmother, my grandfather, and my mother, and they're one of the best keepsakes I can think of. I lost my mother back in 2005, and I have a few possessions of hers that keep her close to my heart and remind me of her on a daily basis. One example is this pair of leather gloves that I wear each winter, and they're just a practical item, but I remember her wearing them, and now that I can make use of them, it's just a nice way to integrate her into my everyday life throughout the winter season. I also have this blue tote bag that she carried with her everywhere. It was the perfect size to fit her magazines, Red Book, Better Homes and Gardens, and she carried that tote bag with her to events all throughout the years to carry her reading material in. I don't use the tote bag, but it does hang in my closet, and when I see it, it reminds me of my mother. These are just a few examples of items that were not valuable monetarily, and they're not particularly old, but they mean something to me. And that's a perfect example of things that you might not think will be meaningful to your children or grandchildren, but you might just be surprised if you ask them. So the main message that I want to convey today is this: don't let fights over stuff damage your relationships with your family members. Because in the end, your quality of your relationship with them has absolutely nothing to do with whether or not they choose to keep any of the antiques or memorabilia that you have stored in your house. I hope this message was helpful to you, and I encourage you to check out all the other videos on our channel at Easy Rightsizing and visit our website at easyrightsizing.com. There you'll find lots of free resources, blog articles, and more videos that can help you through your right-sizing journey. Thanks so much for watching.